Hi, I'm Josie, welcome back. Let's get started on learning how to crochet our very first square. Alright, so you have your brand new skein of yarn and you're ready to start crocheting. When you buy your new skein of yarn, you will be very tempted to grab this thread right here. Don't do it. Grab the yarn that is sticking out of the center. You'll thank me later when you get going and you start using all the yarn. If you crochet from this end, you'll end up with a big tangled mess of yarn. This end right here, if you crochet from this end, you'll end up with a tidy little yarn loaf all throughout your crochet project. I'm going to switch over to this light brown yarn because it's going to be easier for you to see the stitches. And as you can see, I've been using it for a while and it's staying relatively tidy because I grabbed that yarn that was sticking out from the middle. Okay, so all crochet projects start with a chain stitch. And a chain stitch, as is all crochet, just a series of slip knots. This is a really important concept to grasp when you're learning to crochet. I'm going to set down my hook for a second so I can show you what I mean. A slip knot, as you probably know, is just making a loop and pulling another loop through that loop. Now I'm going to make a chain stitch just with my hands. I'm going to poke another loop, grabbing that and kind of pulling it. Pulling loops within loops, that's all crochet really is, except that you'll be using the hook to do this instead of your hands. So let's use the hook. You will make your first slip knot with your hands, making a little loop, pulling a loop through, threading that loop onto your hook. And you don't want to pull it all the way tight. You want it to have some give. Crocheting too tightly is a really common mistake that people learning make. Keep it loose at first so you can see what you're doing. So here we go. Your slip knot is threaded onto your hook and we're going to hold the tail with your left hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm holding this tail with my left hand. And I kind of hold the other end through these two fingers like that. I've seen people adapt how they hold the yarn lots of different ways. You know, keep experimenting and find out what works for you. But I hold it like this, and I take the hook, I grab a loop, essentially a loop around that hook, and pull that loop through this loop. This is a chain stitch. Later on, when you start using patterns, the abbreviation for chain stitch is CH, and it'll say something like CH8, and that means make 8 chains. Okay, so there I've made some chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chains. And I'm counting the little bumps in the top. That's how I can tell how many.